Okay, in this video, we are going to continue our series with the Captain America file. Lisa has been working on this, and she is so close to having this file ready. So I'm going to start by opening up the file that where she's at. And if you look at this, so we're going to go to the right side, we're going to see that there's two pieces of art. So there's first this big overall shape, and then there's this little tiny piece. And at this point, honestly, trying to connect this piece is it's not worth it. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to use the edit points to get everything cleaned up. So the first thing I'm going to do is Control A. I'm going to go ahead in my preview and change all of that to artwork. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that little piece of that little green line, and I'm just going to delete that. So that way we're only working with this one piece of art. Okay, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to uh, either hotkey E, or I'm going to go over on the left side to the shape tool, which is my edit points. All right, so I'm looking in here. I'm going to zoom in over at the star. And I let me zoom back out just to kind of see how this looks. Honestly, I think if we bring this point here up to so it's in line with all of these points to the right, and then we add a second point and bring it down to match, I think the star is going to look great, and I think it's going to work out fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on actually I'm going to click on this end node. Yeah, we'll do the end node. And then I'm going to control and click on this one, right click, and I'm going to align the tops. And that's going to move the one on the star up so that it's in line with the one on the far right side. So now you can see we've done that. I'm going to zoom in so we can see a little bit easier. And I'm going to come in about this place. It's going to be fine. I'm going to right click. Whoops, hold on. We're going to click on this, right click, and and add a point. Okay, now I want to make sure that this is a line point, so I'm going to right click and change that to a line point. Over here, just to make sure everything's going to work the way I want it to, I'm going to right click on the ruler line. I'm going to make sure that snap to anchor points is selected, and it is. Okay, so now I'm going to left click on this, and then I'm going to drag down, and it's going to snap right to that point. Now you can see that, here, I'm going to zoom in just so you can see. Okay, so there's a little handlebar here, and that's because the point over here to the right is not a line point. I can do one of two things. I could either grab this handlebar and try to make it line up, or because I've got 2 points here, and I can use the overlap path function. So I want to move the top line, so that's the one that I'm going to go to. See how I've got the little arc there? And if I right click on that, then I can hit overlap path, and it's going to snap down to that lower straight line. Now, this one on the right is still it's it's actually still it's a curved node, but the handlebar has been dragged down so that it's straight in line with everything else. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. So now we've got this line working fine. We've got the star all back looking like a star. And we've got one more thing to do, and that is to try to get this inside circle looking more like a circle. After playing with it, what I found the easiest thing to do is to just create a new circle. So I'm going to go ahead and click on artwork. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to click on ellipse. I'm going to hold down the control key because that is going to make a circle instead of an ellipse. So it's going to have the same height and it's going to have the same width. So you can see this is 0.92 and 0.92. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over and then I'm going to click and drag on the corners to get it about to the same size as this circle in the center. You can see it's still a little bit off. That's pretty close. Yeah. Okay. So now I've got, and what I'm actually where I really should be looking are these nodes on the kind of the north, south, east, and west. So you can see where that one is. Oh, if we zoom in, let's zoom in. You can see that those two lines are really, really close. Let me go over here. It's a little bit to the outside, but that'll clean up nicely. Let's look down here. Those are pretty well lined up. And over here on this side. Okay, it's a little bit, but I think that's going to work. I think if we match all of these points up, that's going to be a good solution. Let's go ahead and make it orange just so we can see it a little bit better. And then over on the right side, I'm going to lock this in place because I don't want my orange line to move. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start snapping the edit points. So I'm going to hit E so I can see my edit points. And even though I cannot see this orange circle, or I can't see the edit points on the orange circle, if I get close to the edit points, they're going to snap. So I'm going to click and drag because I want all of the points that are matching up right here. I want all of those points to snap to that orange line. And I don't know if you can see that, but see how it kind of magnetically snapped there? We're going to do the same thing with this one down here at the bottom. See how it's snapped to that orange point? And again, you can't see the orange point. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag so I move all of these points all at the same time. But I also want these overlapping. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to align the left side. And then I'm going to click and drag so that way everything is all aligned and snap that to that orange. And then I'm going to do this one on the top. I'm going to go and I'm going to snap that to the orange. Okay, so now let's click off of that. And already you can see that blue line it's looking pretty good. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to that artwork and I'm going to use the smooth tool and let's see how much we can get this looking more like a circle. So when it's a circle, if you can see these handlebars, see how they're kind of at an angle? When it's a circle, they're gonna be perpendicular lines. So if we come in here and we just go to smooth, so now you can see how this is a perpendicular line. This one over here is not, and I think if we take this one and move that perpendicular, we're gonna be pretty close to that circle. Okay, so that looks pretty good. If I come over here and drag this one, actually I'm gonna drag the one on the left down. So now that's pretty close. I'm going to come to the top here. Okay, again, see how this is at an angle? So if I right click on this and go to smooth, and now that's straightened out. And now I can I'm going to mess with the ones over here. That's pretty close. If I come over here, again, see how this one here on the left is not perpendicular? So if I just come in here, and that's going to get it very close to where it looks like a circle. Notice over here also that these are not in line with each other, and that's just going to make that line, instead of looking like a line, it's going to look a little wobbly. When we go and we realign everything, it's going to look good. So let's click off or you could also right click and update the path, and let's see how this looks. That looks pretty good. We've got a little bit of wobble over here. So if we zoom in, you can see where that's a little bit wobbly. But now that it's pretty, and you can see that like these points do not look like they are snapped. Now they're snapped. Okay, so we've got one more thing that we're going to do. So you can see how where we've got those two lines that are overlapped, how they're just a little bit off of each other. So if we come in and I want to bring that outside line, so I'm going to select this item so that you can tell because it's purple. I want to move this top line down to the bottom line. So I'm going to get close to that top line, see the little arc, right click and overlap the path. And now this top line of the circle should be, oh, and then so I did the right side. So now I've got to do the same thing to the left side. So let's go over to the left side. Okay, this bottom one is further away from that orange line, so I'm going to select it. So now it's purple. I want to take the bottom line, bring it up to the top, right click and overlap the path. And let's see how that looks. That looks pretty close to that circle. Is it perfect? No, it's not a perfect circle. Is it pretty close? Yeah, and it looks better than it did. So now I can do if I don't want to use this circle anymore, I can unlock it and delete it because you don't need it anymore. If you want to really see what it looks like without, that orange circle there, you can hit on the right, you've got this little eye icon, and that will show or hide whatever it is that you've got going on. So it looks pretty good. Now, the last thing, again, because we want this to be an edge to edge, so we're going to go E to the edit points and we're going to get everything lined up. Looks like the this little node here is in line with everything. It's not, it's a little bit low, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and put them all in the same plane. And if we hate it, we'll just undo. So I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to select all of these nodes. I'm going to right click and I am going to align. It really doesn't matter if I do the bottom or the top. I think if I do the bottom, we're going to see a little bit more movement, but let's go ahead and do the bottom just to see what happens. Okay, so see everything move down, but now all of those points are all aligned and it looks great. Like I say, there's just a little bit on this right side that doesn't look exactly like a circle, but honestly, when this stitches out, you're never gonna see, oh, that wasn't exactly a perfect circle. So that's the way that I would go about cleaning up this shape and getting that inside circle so that it looks more like a circle. And we were using the edit points and making a true circle to help us get that shape where we wanted it to be. Hope that helps you. You are so close to having this file exactly the way you want it, and I'm so excited for you. So thanks so much, and we'll see you the next time.